Well, let's walk through that a little bit because these are enterprise systems that are in charge of our finances, in charge of our health. Um, in my experience, you get into these AI kind of modernizations. I've been working on it a little bit on my programs. Um, there are these hallucinations that happen, but then there are beyond hallucinations when the AI is just confidently wrong. They're sticking by their guns. This is the way to do it. How do you build trust with clients whose system just simply can't afford that?
Yeah, so see, two things, right? Like when you ask AI for an opinion, that is when you get this. But if you tell AI a guardrail saying that, okay, it has to pass this test case, there is no way for it to be confidently wrong. It can't confidently say, I'll not pass this test case. Either it will say, I can or I failed, right? So what we do is like the whole test-driven strategy. What is your constraints you put on the system? What are the guardrails you put on the system? And what is the verification and evaluation loops you put on that, right? And those things have to be deterministic. If you're like you don't need your AI process to be deterministic. You need your evaluations and your tests to be deterministic, and you need to be sure about that, right? Like for example, the example which I gave you, right? Like a particular use case will result in a database structure in a particular way. You can't change that. That is the end result because other systems depend upon that data, right? So you can't change that. We can write tests for all the edge cases for that and say this test suite has to pass no matter what code you generate. If the test suite doesn't pass, then you are right. You need to redo it again.
Yeah. Now, if I'm a CTO, I'm one of your clients or a soon-to-be client, and I'm sitting on all this deprioritized legacy debt, what's the first kind of internal conversation that I need to have with my team to kind of get ready for a modernization or even to start thinking about it?
Two things, right? Firstly, most of the companies, they already see the power of it because most of the companies where we have sort of actually engaged it, they already had some internal thing because people could see the thing that, yeah, I can actually, because people were already trying it. They were taking the old code base and asking AI, saying that explain it to me. So there were already internal pilots going on in order to use AI to understand the code or to test the code or to sort of modify small chunks of it that were already happening. What we sort of, when we go there, we tell them how we did it at scale, right? Like, yes, one thing is to do POCs and like experiment and convince yourself that, so most of the people are already convinced that AI can do it. What they are really stuck at a CIO level is how do I do it at scale? Yes, my team has showed me that they can do it for one file, two files, but I have 3 million lines of code.
Well, and I imagine, they start like I did. They open up ChatGPT and say,
Yeah, exactly.
Develop me this."
Yeah.
And you've got Copilot, Cursor, and millions of other platforms now. What does Slingshot do that none of them can, and why does that matter?